1,001, 1,002. Oh, hey, how's it going there? I don't know if you were listening, but I did over 1,000. Welcome to Science Based Fitness. My name's Adam. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to talk about some of the most basic fitness tips that'll help you feel more comfortable in the gym and help you be better prepared. Now, I want to keep this video pretty short, so all the research for each topic I bring up will be found in the description if you want to read a little bit more for yourself. And I have done full-length videos for each of these topics that I'm going to bring up, so you can check out those videos if you want a little bit more information. So it's time to hustle for that muscle. That was a slogan that ChatGPT gave me. I don't think it's gonna work. We'll have to try something else. So let's get into this. Exercise selection. When it comes to what exercise you should be doing, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Basic exercises work, and they're fundamental to a solid foundation. Research tests muscle activation with EMG data, and it shows how much muscle contraction you're experiencing during different exercises. And just look at chest, for example. The bench press has some of the highest EMG activation. And if we look at our back, specifically our lats, the pull up, the pull down, and the bent over row are all right up here at the top for the amount of muscle activation. For beginners, training within these basic compound lifts are some of the best places to start. And even within those basic lifts, we still have ways to modify them for your skill or your fitness level. Here's an example of a deadlift. It can look like this, which is a traditional barbell deadlift, or it can look like this, just using a dumbbell or a weight or a kettlebell. Still training the same muscles, just a different difficulty level. Don't worry about picking exercises that are overly complicated. Stick with the basics to start. So now that you have selected specific exercises, how should we set up our training throughout a week? Let's take a look. I want to show you on screen 3 different ways you can set up your training throughout the week. Feel free to screenshot these if you think they might help or maybe give you some ideas. Plan number 1 is going to be for someone who's really busy and only gets to the gym twice a week. Both of these training sessions, we're going to be training total body. This strategy works but requires some downtime between days so the muscles can recover. But if this fits your schedule, there's nothing wrong with that. This means that we would show up and select 2 or 3 different exercises for each major muscle group: back, chest, shoulders, and legs. You could mix in additional arms and abs, but that's totally up to you, and I would spend most of my time working those major muscles, especially if we only have limited time. Although I personally prefer the other training styles. So here's plan number 2. We have Monday, lower body, Wednesday, upper body, and Friday, lower body. This would mean that every other week you train either lower or upper twice a week. This means we're increasing our frequency from training program number 1. And since we're alternating between upper and lower, there's less time that's needed for recovery between days. Now, workout number 3 is probably one of my favorites. This is where we're splitting all the major muscle groups up. So let's say Monday we do chest, Tuesday back, Wednesday legs, Thursday's a rest day, and Friday's shoulders. And then you repeat this process. So out of these 3 strategies, which one's best? It's really gonna come down to the best one being the one that you find yourself being able to consistently stick with. It's gonna have to fit your schedule, it's gonna have to fit your goals, it's gonna have to fit your lifestyle. If you can find one that works best for you, stick to that one. Okay, now I want to look at load in reps, meaning how much weight should we be lifting and how many times. There's always some confusion here. Certain rep ranges lead to better results for specific goals. So if you're trying to get stronger, there's an appropriate rep range. If you're trying to get bigger or have better endurance, there's certain rep ranges you should work within. They're not mutually exclusive. You still will see strength gains if you're training in the endurance rep range and vice versa, but those ideal rep ranges are strength 1 to 6 reps, hypertrophy 6 to 15 or 12 depending on who you ask, and endurance 15 plus or that 12 plus. But this doesn't mean that you can choose a weight that you can lift 15 times and just stop at 6 if you want to get stronger. We don't have to lift to failure on all of our lifts, especially if we're just starting out. But training close to failure can be beneficial. So stopping with 1 to 3 reps still left in our tank is a decent place to start. Using this method is a good way to tell how hard you're actually working, and it allows you to gauge if you need to increase the weight. If you're lifting for, say, 10 reps and you're able to do maybe another 5, maybe increase that weight a little bit. Final 2 quick tips here. So the first is going to be protein consumption. When it comes to weightlifting and exercise, we damage our muscles and we need protein to help recover. We don't need to go crazy with this. Roughly 0.7 grams per pound of body weight will be enough for most people. And believe it or not, you don't have to buy expensive protein shakes. it can be an easy way to get extra protein, but you can get your protein from whole foods. I'll link a full-length video at the end of this one on the basics behind protein consumption. And before this last tip, if you have any fitness-related questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. If there's any of them that I think might help everyone, maybe I'll do a full video on that question. And if you're finding value in this video, think about hitting that like button, consider subscribing. And lastly, I wish I knew this when I was younger. Should you do weights or cardio first? Well, let me ask this. What's more important to you? If you want to get the most out of your cardio session, program it while you're still fresh and have optimal glycogen stores in the muscle. Is having a good weight training session more important and focusing on muscle development? We'll program that first. If you're trying to build muscle, the ideal outcome would be splitting up your cardio session from your weight training session. Maybe train one in the morning and one at night, or train them on separate days. That would yield the best outcomes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. YouTube thinks this video up here is the best for you of my content. That protein video is right down here. And feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested for more evidence-based fitness content.